Hey everybody, Sean Kennedy here at Open Visual Effects. Thanks for coming by. And today we're going to take a look at some texture painting techniques. I've got this hard surface canister sci-fi thing that I modeled. This summer I kind of got into some hard surface modeling and did a lot of cool models, and I also wanted to texture paint them. So I kind of refreshed myself on a lot of cool texture painting techniques, and it's super easy. A lot of people nowadays are using Substance, but I kind of want to remind everybody that Blender can do all this stuff really well as well, and just takes a very little bit of basic shader node knowledge. Not that much at all. You'll see how easy it is. So in this first one, we're just going to go ahead and set up a lot of the basic metals and really basic shaders on this. And then in the next one, we'll dive into painting. So let's go ahead over to the shading tab. Another quick note is that in this project file, if you're using this one, I've got another collection in here that's turned off called Render Stuff, and you can kind of turn it on, and there's a backdrop and lights and stuff, and that's where if you switch over to cycles, you can see it's kind of like a nice lighting setup. Just a basic kind of studio thing, but if you want it, it's there. If not, you certainly can do your own thing. But for now, let's just go ahead and start putting some basic shaders on this thing. First things first, let's select that main body. And we're not going to get too detailed with this just yet. We're just going to throw a basic color on it. So I'm going to go ahead and click a new material. I'm going to call it main body. And I'm going to pick a color for it. Maybe like a nice blue. A little darker maybe. Let's see here. A little bit darker. That looks good. And then we're also going to want so the way I envision this thing is this main body I kind of see as painted, and I also envision this top part and these little inserts all painted the same color as that main body. These handles here and these pipes and then these handles will all be chrome or some kind of metal. The bolts all can be metal. These are some LEDs. These are metal. This, I don't know. I don't know if it can be like a black metal or a like chrome like everything else. I'm not sure. And then I'm thinking maybe this thing up here, sort of like a brass or a copper kind of dome thing. But for now, let's concentrate on just that main body, right? It's going to be painted. So we want this same color to be represented in these top things as well. So go ahead and select that top one. Once you've got your color picked, click main body again. And you can see now there's a little 2 there, meaning it's applied to 2 objects. Click that and call this top painted, I guess, is good. And then we can also, that means if we had kept the same material on multiple objects as we paint on them, who knows, the paint stroke could be right down here, but who knows if it would be right up here. So we've got to make these different objects. So we're also going to go ahead and select these little insert things, and I'm going to pick that top painted. Again, there's the 2 because it's applied to both of these, so I'll click that 2, and let's call this inserts. Top painted inserts. And those are all the things that we want painted, right? So let's go ahead and I guess we could have set up a basic, could have made it a little bit, I mean, we're probably going to change all this later anyway, but we can turn the roughness down a little bit, and that looks fine. Just to give it a little bit of shine, and then even if you want to update those other ones, you can hover over this and hit Control C, jump into this guy, delete that, Control V, and Control Shift. I have Node Wrangler turned on, so when I hit Control Shift and left click, it'll connect whatever node I have selected to the output. So it's very easy. So then I go here and delete this thing and Control V and Control Shift click, and it's plugged in. So now they all have that same roughness setting as well. Let's do some of that metal, right? Let's do these pipes first, I think. So let's click new, and let's say chrome. We'll just call this Chrome 1. There may be multiple chromes in here. Chrome 1, we'll turn up the metallic and we'll turn the roughness way down, right? So that looks all right, but it looks very CG, so let's go ahead and bring in a map. So I've got this whole collection of grunge maps I can't distribute any with this project because I can't remember where I got all these. It could be from paid things. It could be from, non-open source things. But it's very easy to find your own. Just Google or texture grunge maps and stuff, and you'll find a million of these things and just grab, 10 or 20 of them, and you can get started. So I'm going to find one that looks kind of interesting. That's interesting. I kind of wanted something a little more scratchy. That's not perfect. That's not perfect. That's not bad. Let's do that one. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, maybe that is all right. Maybe one of those other ones. No, not that one. Not that one. Yeah, let's do one of these ones. Let's do one of these blobbies. Grab one of those. Not this one. X. And we're going to plug that into the roughness. And you're going to see it's kind of stretched. You can see there's sort of a variation in there now. I'm going to select that and hit Control T with Node Wrangler turned on in the add-ons. It all drops in the mapping stuff, and I'm going to plug in generated and try object instead. And object doesn't look too bad, does it? Actually, let's switch this to box, see what happens. Look at that. That looks nice. That looks good. We're going to stick with that. Let's see if generated looks any better. No. Object is what we want. That looks great. If you still want to adjust that a bit more, you can make a little space here, or, it'll insert it automatically, but you can do color ramp under its Shift A converter color ramp, and it's basically just a levels adjustment. And you can see if we turn up the black slider here, the whole thing goes very shiny. So the black level is what's controlling the shiny spots. So what you want to do is turn that down a bit, and it'll get a little less shiny. Kind of make it like a darker gray, and that looks great. We can also apply it to this. Let's do the chrome on that. Looks great. We can apply it to these little bolt things. Chrome. What else? Should we apply it to this thing for now? Yeah, why not? Just for now, anyway. Looks pretty good. Looks like galvanized metal or something down there. You know what else we can do? What I almost forgot is the softening. Sometimes there's seams, but if you turn this blend up a little bit, there we go. They're over here somewhere. See that seam right there? If you turn this up a tiny bit, it's blurring it out there. Ha! It's not even. It's the seam here. It's not even that one. So if we turn this up a little bit, it kind of blurs that out. But there's still these two. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's not that offensive. And it's not noticeable up here on these things at all. So we can go ahead and leave that for now. Although I think this bottom one, I kind of want it to be like a dark metal. You know what else we can do though real quick is let's throw this into the bump as well. Go ahead and hit Shift A, vector, bump. And we're going to plug this map into the height and the normal into the normal. And you'll see it goes a little bit crazy. Set that down to like 0.2. You can see a little bit better what it's doing. 0.1, even better. And we still don't want it that strong, so we're going to go like 0.04 maybe. Yeah, that looks great. Look at that. That's nice, right? Yeah, I think we can maybe even a little less, 0.03, just subtle. Yeah, so we're good there, I think. I want that bottom one black. So let's turn that black. Let's go with that bottom one selected, hit the little 4. And we're going to call this, call it like black metal, maybe. Black metal. And then how are we going to do this? Let's turn this down first, way down. That's not bad. It's already, yeah, actually, that's kind of already what I was hoping for. I kind of want to mix. Do I want any bump at all? Yes, we should have some bump. Don't want any roughness. A little bit, just a little bit. I don't want that much roughness, I don't think. So what we can do as well is blend it with a mix RGB, and yeah, you can see kind of what that does is So we turn it down, it kind of, look at that, huh? So this controls the shininess of it, and then this controls how much it blends with the map. So we can kind of get that kind of thing going on, which looks pretty cool, right? So that's not too bad. Yeah, that looks good. Happy with that. Yeah. So we can leave it there. And then let's go ahead and we can make these things. Oh, you know what? These things need to be the pink color. So let's go main body and then hit the 2 to duplicate it. And we'll call these handle brackets. Let's do the bolts. Grab one of these bolts and nope, don't do that. Grab the chrome. However, that's too much detail for this little thing. So we're going to go ahead and hit the 4 so it's its own thing. And we're going to call it bolt metal. And then we can unplug. Let's try first deleting these, right? X. See what that looks like. Nah, we can just delete all that and just leave it. Yeah, just delete those. We'll just leave it like a basic chrome. We'll make it a little bit darker. Not that dark. And then a little less shiny. And that looks pretty good. So to get the rest of those with that material, because there's a lot of them here, what you can do is, I have them all in their own collection. If you just right click on that collection, select objects, it selects them all. That first one should still be the active one. And if you just hit Control L, materials, now they all have it. So we're good to go there. And let's throw some foam on these things. These little, I don't know if they're foam or rubber or what, but they're kind of like little pipe insulator things. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead and grab that metal. What's that material I made by accident? And we'll call that black foam. And let's go ahead and turn that way down. Dark. And maybe a bump map on there to kind of give it some foam texture. We'll just use a Voronoi right there. We'll need a bump map as well under vector, bump, distance into height, normal into normal, basic bump setup. So you can see what that's doing. It's useless so far. Set that to 50. Now that looks interesting, right? Set this down to 0.3. Invert it so it comes out instead of going in. Maybe 0.15. Yeah, look at that. Not bad. Kind of like a rubber grip kind of thing, right? Maybe even a little less. 0.1. Yeah, that looks good. And we can turn the roughness. Leave it where it is. This is good. I think we're good there. Oh, it's all right. Yeah, not too bad. So we're good there. So what's left? We have this thing, which I'm just going to go ahead and throw that chrome on for now. It doesn't look very good, does it? Let's see. What can we do here? What can we do? Do we want it painted? Do we want it metal? Let's try a different metal. Let's try the bolt metal. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Let's try the black metal. That looks kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Let's start with that. Click this and call this, call it like a metal nameplate. Oh, if I can call it the right name. There we go. And now that it's its own thing, we can kind of do what we want with it. Let's make it a little bit brighter so it's more metallic. Let's make it, I want a little bit more of that coming through, but I don't want it as shiny. Now I can make this darker again. So it kind of looks like a, I don't know what that looks like, but anyway. Not too bad. And then we've got these LEDs, which we can do. Oh, we've got this thing too. We can just throw one of the metals on that. Let's throw bolt metal on. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then we can grab these LEDs. And I guess, should we just make them all the same color for now? I don't know. Let's go ahead and select a loop here. And then Control plus till you get the whole light bulb. And call this like this. We'll call it like LED, what, red, I guess. And then if we go here, I don't know where the assign is here. If we go here, you can go assign, and then add another one right here, and invert that selection, and new, and assign the new one, and call this one LED plastic. So there we go. And now the LED plastic can just be like a dark gray plastic with the shininess. And the LED red, nope. LED plastic, that's interesting. LED red. That one we want to, right, slots, there we go. Red, completely red. Oh, you know what we want is the emission. Copy that down there to the red. Turn this black so it doesn't affect anything. And there we go. That's fine. So this one, same thing. Select the loop. Plus. And grab the red, assign, and then invert, and new, and assign, and pick the LED plastic. And there we go. Let's do the same thing here. I mean, you could very easily just copy these and put them here, but as I already have them, I'll just quickly do them. Come on, select the loop. Guess it doesn't take too long. Bam, assign, red, control invert, new, assign, plastic. Tab, and do that last one as well. Plus. Control plus lets a selection grow like that. Assign, red, invert, control invert, new, assign, plastic. Tab. There you go. So there we go. Those are all the basics. Oh, we got to do this dome thing, right? The brass dome. So let's throw on another new one. New. And we're going to call this one brass dome. Turn up the metallic. Make it a nice gold color. Kind of like a coppery brass, whatever. And no, that doesn't look, turn the roughness down. Again, looks not bad, but you know we're going to throw a grunge on it. So let's go ahead and grab another grunge image. That doesn't look too bad. What else do I have? Anything else that might work? Nope, too many details in that one. What's this one? Let's go ahead and grab that. Let's try. That guy might work good, actually. Let's try that one. And plug it right into that roughness. See what happens. A little funky. We can go box. Not right at all. And we can go Control T. So I didn't unwrap any of these, which is probably why when I switched to box, they come out a little funky. Go to generated, and that's not too bad. What if we go to object? Even better. Looks great. Somewhere there's going to be some seams, right? So we turn that blend up a little bit. That'll get rid of that. And that looks pretty dang good. It might be a little bit saturated. And again, we want to do our color ramp trick right here. We go converter, color ramp, and we want to turn this black one kind of up to gray a little bit so it's not quite so shiny in those reflective spots. And then we're also going to run it into the bump with a vector bump. Height, normal to normal. Way too much, of course, 0.1. Still way too much, but better. Let's go like 0.03. Really subtle, even less, maybe 0.02. Yeah, not bad. We get a little breakup on the hot spots there. It still might be a little saturated too. I'm not totally sure about that, but whatever. It's fine for now. There's a very easy way. If you want to, if you kind of like that color, but you also want to experiment, you can throw in a under input an RGB and just kind of drag and drop that over there, and it will kind of stay in here and just save that original color for you. So now you can experiment here and kind of desaturate it a bit. Look at that. That looks kind of cool, actually. So yeah, there we go. Something like that. And let's make this chrome a little darker too. What do you think? Yeah. Yes, that looks good. Make these a little darker, although it can't get much darker with those. What would... Yeah, the roughness value would change that a bit, but I think that's all right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to turn the roughness up a bit. Turn that bump up a tiny bit more. That looks great. All right, so I think that's it for now. I think we're going to go ahead into the next one and start painting on this blue body and go from there. So I'll see you in the next one.